Hey everybody, welcome to Mind Blown. Today, we're going to go over the everyday habits of depression you need to know. Make sure to watch until the end, as we will give you some tips on how to take care of your well-being. Before we begin, we would like to mention that this video is created for educational purposes only, and is not intended to substitute a professional diagnosis if you suspect that you may have depression or any mental health condition. We highly advise you seek help from a qualified mental health professional. What is depression? Depression is a common and serious medical illness that negatively affects how you feel, the way you think, and how you act. Depression is a severe mental illness that often goes unnoticed for years. People with concealed depression are battling demons within themselves all on their own. They are not sharing their struggles and do not want to burden those around them. It is also a mood disorder that causes a persistent feeling of sadness and loss of interest. Also called a major depressive disorder or clinical depression, it affects how you feel, think, and behave, and can lead to various emotional and physical problems. You may have trouble doing normal day-to-day activities, and sometimes you may feel as if life isn't worth living. More than just the blues, depression isn't a weakness, and you can't simply snap out of it. Depression may require a long-term treatment, but don't get discouraged. Most people with depression feel better with medication, psychotherapy, or both. You see, for most people, wounds are not something we are open about. We tend to bottle things up and attempt to remedy them on our own. If you are watching this to understand better, you must know someone you feel you need to better understand, or you can relate to this yourself. The following habits are some of the most common in people dealing with concealed depression. Common habits if you're depressed. Number 1. Talented and expressive. Many famous people have suffered from mental illnesses, and the suffering gives them more profound emotions. If you think about it, this is in some form of source of their greatness. While we cannot always see it, their struggles are often reflected in their work. These people can bring something beautiful out of the darkness that consumes them. Most people struggling with various mental health issues, including depression, have a high concentration of talent. It's like inner pain comes with exceptional gifts, which the gifted one often overlooks because they take it for granted and don't realize others don't have this talent. Feelings of low self-esteem often add to that self-perception. Although major depression and bipolar disorder are associated with creativity, the evidence does not indicate that mood disorder enhances an individual's artistic ability. The benefits of art on mental health. On the other hand, creativity can be a positive outlet for people in mental distress, with art therapy increasingly prescribed for trauma victims. Research has found that writing about painful past events may even temporarily boost one's immune system. Since creativity can be healing, people with mood disorders may instinctively turn to art to help themselves cope or heal. In addition, the nature of invention leads artists to behave in ways that read as disordered. Number 2, they are in search of a purpose. We all need a purpose in this life. We want to be sure that we are in some form doing meaningful things. People suffering from hidden depression are not exempt from this. They too want to know the reason for their existence. They are much more susceptible to feeling things like inadequacy and anxiety, which leaves them searching for something they can never seem to achieve in their minds. What does it feel like to lack purpose? If you are experiencing a lack of purpose in your life, you may feel constantly bored, dissatisfied, or empty, like life has no meaning. You may feel unfulfilled in your relationships with others, disaffected at home and work, and anxiously meditate on what the point of life is. You may feel hopeless, desperate, or simply numb and unable to find enjoyment in the things that used to please you. Feeling a lack of purpose can also contribute to depression and anxiety, especially when you feel unable to see a way out of your empty feelings. Lack of purpose, self-help. Here are some self-help strategies that can help you reduce your anxiety symptoms. Opening up to someone you trust can be a relief and help you feel better about understanding your worries and anxiety. Look after your physical health by getting enough sleep and following a balanced diet to stabilize your mood and energy levels. Regular exercise will help you battle stress and release tension, as your brain releases endorphins to improve your mood. Breathing exercises, mindfulness, and relaxation techniques will help calm your mind. Keep a diary of the situations that make you feel anxious, and know how you've reacted in each case. This will help you identify potential triggers for your anxiety. Avoid things that can exacerbate your anxiety, such as smoking, caffeine, and alcohol. Number 3, strange eating habits. People with depression may not eat much or at all when they are at their worst. That being said, some of them may eat more when at their worst. It varies from person to person. When you're struggling with depression, your eating habits often suffer. Some people overeat and gain weight, turning to food to lift their mood. Others find they're too exhausted to prepare balanced meals or that they've lost their appetite. Food is one of many mediums through which anxiety, depression, or obsessive-compulsive behaviors can be expressed. Eating too much or too little can suggest the presence of depression. Some people turn to food for comfort, while others lose their appetite or eat less due to low mood. These changes in food intake can cause a person to start gaining or losing weight. Dramatic weight changes can also exacerbate depression as they can affect a person's self-esteem. 3 food traps to avoid when you're depressed. Using food for comfort. People with depression often use food to self-medicate. Many people crave carbohydrates or soft comfort foods such as ice cream and cake when they're depressed. One reason for this is that foods high in carbs and sugar increase serotonin levels, a brain chemical that elevates mood. In the short term, eating foods high in sugar and fat may make you feel calmer and cared for, but for a long time, a steady diet of comfort foods can lead to weight gain and increase your risk of heart disease, diabetes, and other serious health problems. Eating too little. Many people find their appetite decreases when they're feeling low. In some cases, they end up unintentionally losing weight. They have less desire for food, and they start skipping meals. Often they're sleeping through meals. But not eating enough can make you more irritable and sensitive, which can worsen your depression. Eating whatever is easily available. Shopping for and preparing healthy meals can seem daunting when you're depressed and lacking energy. As a result, you may reach for convenient foods, and you may not get enough variety in your diet. Number 4. Abnormal sleep habits. People with depression will often sleep for what seems like maybe days. Sleep at times can be impossible, while other times could be the only thing left that the person can do. When a person is depressed, they are dealing with a state of helplessness that will rock their world. Most people who have experienced depression know that sleep problems often accompany it. People with depression may find it difficult to fall asleep and stay asleep during the night. For example, you may develop insomnia. You might not fall asleep as quickly as you once did, or wake up exceptionally early when you used to be a late riser. Your sleep could also be disrupted, causing you to wake up throughout the night. They can also have excessive daytime sleepiness, or even sleep too much and still not feel well rested. Sleep problems can increase the risk of initially developing depression. As a result, taking some of the following steps can help you sleep better, boost your mood, and help decrease some of the problematic symptoms of depression. Tips for sleeping better. Talk to a therapist. There are several therapies to help you cope with depression and change your thinking about sleep. Keep a regular sleep/wake time. Keeping a consistent bedtime and wake time sets aside the requisite 7 to 9 hours of sleep and gives your body the opportunity for an entire night of sleep. Avoid alcohol. Binge drinking before bed leads to difficulty falling asleep and staying asleep. Even moderate drinking is enough to disrupt your sleep cycle. Exercise regularly. Those who engage in light or vigorous exercise reported very good or reasonably good sleep quality. Number 5. They seek love and acceptance. People with hidden depression are not hiding their depression because they want to be dishonest. They are just working to protect their hearts. These people want to be loved and accepted just like everyone else. There are many steps you can take to educate yourself about your loved one's experience with depression. Get the facts on depression. There are trusted resources on the internet that provide facts about depression, including symptoms and treatments. Reading up on what depression can feel like, as well as the myths, misconceptions, and stigma around mental illness, can help you better understand your loved one's experience. Be supportive. Sometimes, your presence is the most helpful thing you can offer to someone going through a hard time. Just providing a listening ear or a shoulder to cry on can be very comforting. Be patient, and let your loved ones know you are there for them. Avoid judgment and blame. If someone you love is depressed and no longer able to do the activities they used to, including working or helping around the house, you may feel like they are lazy. When you get frustrated, try to remember that someone who is depressed isn't lazy, they're ill. Offer hope. Offer your loved one hope in whatever form they can accept it. It may be a faith in God or another kind of higher power, their children or pets, or anything in their life that makes them want to keep living. Love them unconditionally. People who are depressed often feel a deep sense of guilt. They may believe that they are a burden to those around them. Sometimes they even begin to think that their loved ones would be better off without them. One of the ways you can combat these feelings is by regularly showing and telling them that you love them unconditionally. When you become discouraged or angry, it's essential to reassure them that you are frustrated with their illness, not them. Number 6. Hurt when other people are hurt. When other people are suffering, it brings them down to their worst points. This sort of thing often triggers their emotional pain and can be crippling. Someone who suffers from depression has a lot of heart and can see through to your soul. When no one else will listen, these friends are there for you when everyone else pushes you away, because you are talking about painful things. This population in particular suffers when they don't feel a sense of connection or belonging. I think they are the ones that will reel us all in from our current existence because they crave it. And human beings need it. We need it now. Number 7. Very involved in matters of life and death. People suffering from depression often face their mortality in moments of despair and seek answers to life's most profound questions. They tend to shift from one terrible mindset into another. Sure, not all depressed people deal with suicidal thoughts, but some do. If you know someone at immediate risk of self-harm, suicide, or hurting another person, ask the tricky question, are you considering suicide? Listen to the person without judgment. Stay with the person until professional help arrives. Try to remove any weapons, medications, or other potentially harmful objects. If you or someone you care about is suffering from concealed depression, either get help or offer a helping hand. Fighting this alone is not easy or productive. The world can be an excellent place if you get the help you need. Nothing can stand in your way. You are not a burden to others, and the people who love and care about you want to help you. Let them. A person who experiences these habits should be taken as an immediate warning sign to take professional help. If you find this video helpful, be sure to hit the like button and share it with someone who needs to hear this. Subscribe and hit the notification bell to get notified whenever Mind Blown posts a new video. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next one.